Okay, so now we're in the bridge of all the small things like Blink-182. This is simply a C chord. If you look at this one, it's the same as this, right? So it's just a C chord, just a 1, and they hold on to it. This little tilde, I guess is what it's called. This little thing means just hold this out. So it goes like, you hit it twice, and then you just hold out and you let it ring. Okay, so you just came from all the small things. Dun, 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 dun. Always I know I'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. And then it goes into this thing right here with the chorus. Na 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 na. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and continue here. This is a one-time thing. It's just to tie you over from the verse to the chorus. Otherwise, this is... I mean, you could just get from one to the other, but this makes it cool. You get a little rest before the crazy chorus of on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So we have the C chord here. This is the same. I hope you can recognize that these are C chords now. Even if you don't know guitar notation, I hope that this sticks out and you're like, oh, that looks like everything else. This is really, really simple now. Hopefully. Okay, so E plus 3 again is G, and then finally we got an F chord here. This is very much the same as all of this. It's just a lot of repetition and the same stuff over and over. Now here you have a chord progression that goes 1, 5, 4, 5. Here you just go 1, technically 1 again if you're counting just for rhythm's sake, and then 5 and 4. Okay, so 2 measures of 1, if you will, 1 measure of 5, 1 measure of 4. And so your chord progression changes. Your chords are pretty much the same thing, but you rehash them and you get something new. Just like here we had 1, 4, 5, and then a little bit of nothing, and then 4, but arguably this is all one idea. So here we got 1, 4, 5, 4. Here you got 1, 5, 4, 5. And here you got 1, 5, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 5, 4. Okay, so you can use the same chords but in different ways, and you can get different music this way. If you make it too different and you use like really weird things, like if you were to throw a bunch of like 2s and 6s in here instead, or 2s and 6s and maybe a 7th chord or something, this would sound really alien and it wouldn't sound like it's related material. You want to make sure all your music sounds like it's one big idea, one big picture, I guess, one big picture. Okay, so this is the na 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 G chord. Na 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 na. Okay, and again they're putting this. I'm just playing one block chord at a time for the whole thing because I'm lazy and it won't sound nearly as good on the piano as it does on the guitar. So anyway, we got interlude here. This interlude again is that C chord. Now we're doing something different. Now we got an 8, right? An 8, A plus 8. If you want to count, we'll count this one just because I want to be sure that you all know and be sure I do it right and all that good stuff. That should be enough. So we got A here, B here, C, D. And then it should look like that. There we go. E, F, G, and A, and B. Okay, so we're starting on A. We add 3. We get, let me use a different color here. Let's go with green. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3. That gets us C here. We got a C. To 8 this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 gets us an F. This is an F chord. Just when you thought it was something different. Just when you thought it was something different. You're like, ooh, an 8, that's different from all these other ones we've seen. An 8 on this string is still an F, guys. It's still a 4 chord. This is still a power chord. We still have F, C, and F. Okay? So sorry to burst your bubble, but that's what we got. Okay, so we got a 7, which is now going back 1. Here was 8, right? So here's 7 from A. So this is E. We got an E chord, which is kind of nice. An E chord. And this is a full-on E chord. It's not like a C chord with an E in it or something. This is E, this is B, this is E, right? We got 1, 5, 1, 5, 1 on E. So this is actually your 1, 5, 1 with the E. This is actually your 3 chord. We're using a 3 chord. Why are we using a 3 chord? Remember, I always say 3 chords are crazy. Don't use them. They're strange. They're hard to use and they don't sound very good. But in this case, it's okay. And here's why. Let's go ahead and use this blue here. Okay. We got 5 chord that's going back down 2. So here's 7, right? There's 7. Going down 2 gets us 5. So this is 6. This is 5, right? So that's D. This is a D chord. We're going to a 2 chord. We're going to a 2 chord. C, F, E, D. This is a D2 chord. Okay. So all this is doing, and then we have chicka chicka here with the rhythm on the guitar, just scratching the guitar without actually letting the notes sound. Not actually scratching the guitar, but like playing on the strings, so they you hear the strings being plucked, but there's no actual tone coming through. You just get the little scritchy sound. And then finally we have a 3 chord, 3, or not 3, but 3, 5, and 5. This was our C. A plus 3 is C, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is C chord. So this is our 1 chord over here. So all we're doing here is going 1 and then 4, 3, 2, 1. All we're doing is going 1 up to 4 and then slowly down to 1 via the 3 and the 2. It's like a slide. Whee! All right, so here's your ladder going up your slide. Here's your 1 at the bottom. Here's your 4. And then instead of just going like falling off the slide and going back down to 1 and then maybe hurting your face by face planting, you're going down the beautiful slide and you're going 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. So these kind of are acting as passing chords. They're not actually chords per se, like where these are actually chordal structures. This is actually just going 1, 4, and back to 1. Okay. So with this is what the interlude sounds like if you know this from the piece or from the song. Chicka chicka da 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 da. Then it repeats. Oops, that was a 5. Right. Okay, so that's all the small things that, and then a few things later they do like all the verse and the chorus again, and the bridge and the interlude. They do all this again. There might be like a solo section that's a smidge different, but it's pretty much this. If you want, I recommend you go and look at the solo section and see if you can figure out what's going on there. Just based on the guitar tab. Okay, I'll put the guitar tab in. I'll put a link to it in the description so you will be able to see it. And again, I'll throw the video in here if you want, or the music video for their song on this, if you want to go listen to that too. Okay, I hope this made sense.